know is what is it based on? What has he done? What kind of accomplishments has he performed? What our current president? What has he done? It's done nothing but negative. And it's negativity throughout the country. I mean, this country used to be very positive a few years back. Everybody was happy. Now I see nothing but stress in the streets. It's amazing how quickly that can happen.
And it's amazing how in Florida we miss some of that because we have such an amazing governor, Ron DeSantis.
I want to end on you telling us what you just said. What are your own thoughts about the real Gavin Newsom? Because there are people in this room, people watching us right now, who have seen him on TV, they're turned off. But he's going to try to sell convince people around the country. And he's running ads in Florida, as you know. His re-election in California, he's running in Florida because he wants to run for president. What's the real Gavin?
Said it perfectly. You don't see any Florida states in California. But I was shocked when he won as governor. I really thought there's no way. Look at San Francisco mayor. There's no way he's going to win. And he did. So it's still frightening to think of it.
Yeah, he wants to go there.
I must think there was no reason that Joe Biden could have won. And here we are.
Right. We got, come on in, Chuck. Chuck is saying, hang on a second, he's got something to say.
I was just saying he didn't win.
I bet there's a lot of people in this room. You want to come into career? What's your name? Where are you from? Tom Solo. I think I might have seen you here before. Yeah, go on, get the camera that way. Yeah, don't run off on us automatically. No, you're great. What do you think about Joe Biden?
Don't make it food.
Biden, Brandon, I don't think much of Brandon. No, sorry. You heard of him, right? I've heard of him, yeah. Yeah, he's got cancer. Yeah, he does get cancer. Yeah. And they say he doesn't. He just has cancer, he's cancer. Why would he deny what he says right now? Well, what's scarier? If a president of the United States in his party has cancer, or the White House says no, he just has dementia, so don't believe what he said. It's more so scary. Yeah, I know it's scary. I think the dementia part's scary. I think we're living in an age of scary. You know, so we're just doing everything. Every day is a new day with Joe Biden, and you know, just what you hear, and I just, you know, what gives you hope? Donald Trump. I think the next election is coming up. I think we're going to take the House and the Senate, and so that gives me a lot of hope. And hopefully the Republicans power there.
Yeah, hopefully McCarthy stays in line and gathers around the troops and gives me hope.
And then do you think right after the midterms, Trump should announce, should he wait until those midterms, stay off the stage a little bit, and then really run
I stay off the stage a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Because I think the Democrats will eager for him to make statements, blunders, and then, all right. So,
Tom, we appreciate your thoughts this morning. Let me get Karen back in there. Let's see, look at that. Trump was right about everything. I want one of those. All right. How about for Tom? We appreciate it, sir. What do you think of these real Americans?
Trump was right. And Trump was right. Real Americans don't believe the BS is going on in this country.
I was only holding the mic because I wasn't sure I was going to throw them off. I didn't want to hurt your very fine toes, okay? In the meantime, quick break, and then we got some real American voices. And Sunny Side Up was a special day after this.
Concern ties to them stop threatening you until they get what they want, and force you to take part in their scams, threaten your family, and ultimately destroy your life.
Holy shit.
It appears that their victims include some of our students.
No!
They primarily target juveniles.
What's the boss's name?
Nobody knows. The victims are being threatened not to testify. So even the police can't get a grasp of the situation. That's where you want us to start? You should be able to call them. If you learn the rest of things to do. Or if something threats. And if you have to help us. You say something way back at her? You totally let her win. Their main hub of activity is in Shibuya. That's all the information I have. You have 2 weeks. Once that is passed, I'll submit all the evidence I have to the police and to the school. I hope you don't let me down. She really had the upper hand in that exchange.
Now,
Come on, we should get in touch with Eustace.
Applegate. We take this money. Why?
The student council president from Chujin Academy? Are you saying that Makoto was sticking her nose into this phantom thief business? I'm not. Why would Makoto? Were you not going to speak her to us, Secretary? It seems there's no limit to your duplicity.
Well, it's somewhere between at least £600 to £800.
Fine. I'll look into everything.
When it comes to
you have
valuation,
to say.
company reaction is priceless. Antiques Roadshow on Pluto TV.
So mad.
I'm the best lawyer you can hope for, and I'll tell you why. Whoever's making you look guilty is making me look bad. I don't like that.
Either way, we have almost no information on our cousin. He was a crime boss, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had a palace.
I'm sure the truth will come out.
isn't this a prime opportunity for us, though?
How? We're in huge trouble.
Even after we punished an evil man who seemed to be good, the public did not acknowledge us. However, if we take down an actual criminal, let alone a target the police don't have answers for,
Right. That might make people believe in us.
I get it. That means even a catch you'll have to acknowledge us as the Phantom Thieves. What do you say, leader? Hell yeah! We just gotta do what we always do.
our time limit is 2 weeks, correct? We can't afford to waste too much time. I'll ask around Kosei and see if there are any victims.
Okay, I know some girls who go to Shibuya pretty often. I'll check with them about it.
Alright, and I'm gonna see what I can find on the net. That leaves our school up to you and Morgana. Figured out what to do during the whole Kamoshida thing, right?
I'll back you up.
Alright, let's get back together at the end of the week once we've got all our info. I'll get in touch with you guys later.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Hey, indeed. Hmm. To tell the truth, my apologies.
This is for you. you can get around.
All families it's not our horizon. All things in the country. Yeah, don't make this one of those actions that are just when my scooter broke down. You know, I was confined back to the little shack, a place that you get inside. I didn't want to fix up, so it's scooting around town with that scooter. Exactly. There you go. See?
There you go. It's off. Wow, that is so great. There you go. There.
Great.
Isn't that what it's all about? People helping people.
Freedom, it's all about freedom.
Oh, it's also
It's all about freedom.
But the veteran saying, look, I got something nice, I want to pass it
And
on.
I want to pass it on so he can have his freedom, so he can go to places that he can't go when he's confined to the walker.
Yeah, and these are folks who have given so much for our great country. We should always say, thank you, we're grateful. Guess what? We're grateful for this community. We share it with so many great people. David Brody and Hannah will be here 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it, live on Conservative Ground. We're headed to Tampa. We'll be live tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern normal time from the Tampa Convention Center. Turning Point USA will be live from Tampa, right?
Live from Tampa with free conservative patriots.
Patriots, thank you for being part of this great community. Rap, the Rap fam, live all day long. Watch us see you
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real change.
All right. All right. All right.
One more.
Financial Times in London. Everybody on the City of London, Wall Street, the multinational corporations, they're the ones trying to shut me up. They will never shut me up and never shut me down. We've essentially put the burden on the bailout on the working class and middle class. That's why nobody owns anything. But the millennials today are nothing but the 19th century Russian serfs. They're better fed, they're better clothed, they're in better shape, they have more information than anybody in the world at any point in time. But they don't own anything. They're not going to own anything. And they're 20% taking market time against their parents. They're 20% behind in their income. And there's no pension plan in the future. They're all gig economy. We've literally destroyed the values of this country. And both political parties, by the way, this is not about Republicans and Democrats. This is the way the system works. This is the way the system comes together.
Good morning and welcome to today is July 21st, the year of our Lord 2022. I am Terry Schilling, filling in for the great and amazing leader, the legend, Stephen K. Bannon. Thank you all for joining us. We have a packed show today. We are going to be talking about election integrity. We're talking about the marriage votes in Congress. We're talking about what's going on really. Mostly, we're going to start off with talking about what's going on in the court case with Steve Bannon. But we've got Jack Posobiec here with us, joining us to start us off. Jack. So you can tell that's right from here, but that's.
So I'm down here in Tampa, Florida. You can see behind me, this is the Tampa Convention Center. We're just now starting a turning point, the SAS, the Student Action Summit. We're getting, and right now this morning, you can see behind me, and you'll probably see throughout the show as we go on, we'll be bringing in some people from Turning Point from the event. This really is becoming the center of the conservative universe this weekend. So tomorrow we have Governor Ron DeSantis, the great governor of this freedom state. And Saturday, of course, right here in this very building, just through those doors, right up our steps behind me, President Donald J. Trump will be addressing the audience.
Mom left her phone somewhere on Buford Street.
Using their public studio space right now to be able to do more room, to be able to get in here. They set it up at the last minute for us. It's amazing. Thank you so much to them. But we have to get into the news because there's so much going on around the world. We're going to talk about our own reason here as well because we're seeing the premier drug. We knew this was coming. We've also got situations, tanks on the streets of China, the CCP cracking down, the runs on the banks, the freezing of bank accounts. What else are we talking about? Nancy Pelosi talking about making a trip to Taiwan. Biden, the military trying to stop her from doing that, from standing with Taiwan at a time like this, where we know what's coming down. The people of Taiwan, the people know that the CCP is bearing down. We've got a world on chaos. And President Biden, meanwhile, is out there telling the world that, oh, I've got cancer. Wait, do you have cancer or not? And then the White House is to walk out. He's respectless. He's ridiculous. The city's talking about something else, right? You have a show president while Steve Bannon is on show trial. And that's why I want to bring in right now Viva Fry, the lawyer who's been doing an excellent daily recap podcast, shooting at the top of the charts on Apple, talking every day about what's going on in trial. So yesterday we saw the prosecution arrested, but there were a lot of bombshells that were going on in the back and forth. It's been a roller coaster. So Viva Fry, let's get some color of this recap that we've been doing this most way.
How's it going? I'm just trying to back up without pulling my computer down to the ground. The recap for the post-millennial put out an episode last night. Prosecution rested its case after two, I will say stellar or qualify their testimony, after two witnesses, General Counsel for the committee and the FBI investigator Steve Hart. They need to prove in order to have a chance to succeed or to succeed on his claim. Bannon was served with the subpoena. He knew of the dates. There was some back and forth among the committee. Also, Bannon refused to comply, took to social media, made some public posts from his verified Twitter account, indicating that he was not complying. They referred the matter to the investigator. You can imagine, there's nothing more serious to investigate at this point in time in American history and politics than it's Stephen Bannon's contempt of Congress. FBI investigator Stephen Hart checks out some social media posts, is satisfied that the elements are there for an indictment, and then they submit it for indictment to a grand jury. And that's the evidence. They close it. Some interesting developments related to some documentation that was allowed into evidence. The recent letter from Donald Trump, purporting to waiving the privilege that was allegedly given to.
So I want to jump this up for the audience back there. So we have a letter now from President Trump that they fought tooth and nail to not be presented. In this case, they didn't want this letter in, they didn't want this evidence to be presented. This letter from President Trump, which specifically speaks to executive privilege and the case of
Sorry for asking you so suddenly.
what are the implications of the fact that this has been now allowed into the jury? What does it mean for the trial? And what are the implications of the use of executive privilege as argument in general?
So my understanding is that, legally speaking, it's questionable whether or not it was bona fide and legitimate. Executive privilege, and thus he could not legally comply with it. So there's a question of law, which is for the judge, and then there's a question of fact, which. Among others. Oddly enough, it was the prosecution that opened this door for this correspondence, and in particular this letter, because it was the day before yesterday, we said that we wanted to admit the correspondence between the committee and Van's attorneys, which referred to executive privilege, which the judge last week said Van can't raise as a defense. But on the one hand, I can look at this letter and say both sides are going to spin it the way they want, and if I'm prosecution, I don't mind this letter coming in, because you know darn well that this letter, drafted by Trump in a way that would incense his adversaries and please his allies or his followers or his supporters. This letter says, yeah, I'm waiving the executive privilege, and then it can testify. In the same letter, it refers to the committee as the unselected committee, basically a political witch hunt, a travesty of a committee, and you know that for a jury which probably is going to be 95, if not 100% Democrat Hillary Clinton supporters, that's going to sense, and it's going to insinuate that my prosecution, I'm going to look at this, even in. But the implications, Bannon can now argue, as a matter of fact, that he thought he benefited from executive privilege, which goes to the mens rea of the criminal intent. You've got actus reus, having committed the act, mens rea, having intended to commit the act. And so we can raise this argument now. At least it might confuse things. But I think Trump finds ways to dig and jab at people who don't like him. It's a double-edged sword. It will be spun as more defiance, more thumb in your nose, and the authority. What's the timeline? What's the timeline here? What's the time frame? When can we expect this to be, and come to a picture? Rest in its case. They presented the two witnesses. They think they presented all the evidence they need for conviction beyond a reasonable doubt, and now it's going to be the defense. I don't know who Bannon had lined up for witnesses. I don't know if Bannon intends on testifying. There are some mixed rumors that Bannon wants to and will testify. We don't know, but now it's the defense's turn. Imagine that it went for much longer than the prosecution had something they can call a few witnesses, and this can go on a few more days. But with any luck, I think it should end by the end of the week. And then the question is going to be, is it a fait accompli for a conviction, or is there a chance that the jury might say, yeah, look, there's a letter saying that he waived the executive privilege, which presumes.
Right, so now the context of the fact that they are going to the jury, right? And presumably, as you state, it's going to be a jury it's a DC jury, so there's probably not going to be a bunch of Trump supporters sitting on this thing. Now, it might rub them the wrong way, because yesterday, the first witness, it was the chief counsel for the J6. She is the chief counsel for the J6 committee, and her staff was given me the eagle eye as they walked out of the courthouse and spotted me there. It's on this few folks over there. She referred to this as a domestic terrorist attack that led to multiple deaths over and over. And through the course of that jury selection, we saw when you've got a guy like Stephen K. Bannon there in front of a jury like this, when you've got a guy like Donald Trump who's coming up into a situation like this, and they know that these jurors are their people, does it actually run the risk of them saying, look, this guy's on the side of Trump, and we're going to convict him because we don't like him? And that really dates back to the question of political bias, and that's what the defense is getting.
Jack,
it's an interesting point. It's a double-edged sword. The distinction between defiance and resistance is perspective. Trump's side is going to see this as resistance, and the jury probably will see this as more defiance. I mean, I don't know if the jury is seeing Bannon take to the podium before every day of trial and speaking to the world, using this trial as a pretext to speak to the world. I suspect they are. I suspect anybody who is not a supporter of Trump or who loathes Trump will see this not as resistance, but as defiance, justifying sanction. We'll see. But it might have been a done deal from the beginning. But yeah, and I can see the jury getting incensed by this. You have Donald Trump referring to this committee as unselect, sham kangaroo court, travesty of justice, where some of these jury members are, in fact, and probably still do see this as an insurrection, an act of domestic terrorism, a term that was thrown around House Resolution 503 more times than you can count, and they believe it. And so they're going to believe that it was an act of domestic terrorism. And here you have Steve Bannon, the ringleader, saying all hell is going to break loose, lauding the authority of the committee and making a mockery of this trial, and Donald Trump aiding and abetting through this letter. But who knows? I think both Trump and Bannon at this point are using this trial to speak to the world and not necessarily to the jury.
The misdemeanor from hell.
Two counts of contempt of Congress for failing to appear and for failing to produce documents of someone who was not even there the day of, and is an extremely popular social media personality and a huge platform. This was not about any aiding and abetting or having anything to do with the events of January 6th. It's about making an example of proud spokespeople for ideological adversaries.
Well, that's exactly right. That's just this morning. The recap that we made. We're seeing Steve Bannon on trial. They're bringing up Jan 6. They're trying to get there. Obviously, and it's clear that the witness of Trump was aiding and abetting this. They're trying to make this a case about January 6th and trying to say that Bannon is complicit in that. She keeps bringing up this phrase, all hell's going to break loose, all hell's going to break loose. By the way, I was sitting next to Steve Bannon when he said that. He was talking about the debate that was supposed to take place in the Senate. To your point, you made all the recap. There is someone that we know organized and incited a riot to storm the Capitol and his way out. Interestingly enough, he's not on trial, and he's not being referred to the Constitution at all, as far as we know.
It's patently absurd, and you know that it's.
Why don't you eat some actual food?
Comes out and runs a propaganda conference, portraying Ray Epps not as a perpetrator of this act of domestic terrorism, but as a victim of right-wing conspiracy theories. That somehow he's just an innocent victim in all of this, and now he's being thrown under the bus by the right, as opposed to the prosecutor to the moon by a weaponized DOJ. Ray Epps on camera the day before saying, storm the Capitol, go in the Capitol, on the Capitol the day of, by his own admission, going past barricades, being present on restricted grass, and leaves once the violence occurs. By his own admission, texted his nephew, basically explaining and boasting about his role in orchestrating all this. I don't know if the House Committee subpoenaed granted that. I don't think they have it. So to suggest that they're going after the actual meaningful players in this at this point would be laughable. And it becomes somewhat undeniable that they're going after and players as in people who have a platform, people who have been vocal opponents, and they're now feeling around.
Viva, we're going to carry this into the break. Guys, stay tuned. We got a packed show coming up with Ben Harwell to cover the Draghi story. Stay tuned. We love you.
I'm going to collect my cards.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real change.
That's the one that I just had on. I see you say some access
This demon, we cannot let this demon hide.
Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Welcome back to the War Room. We are going to turn it right back to Viva. Viva, what next? Close this thing out. Give everyone an idea of what to expect next and what's going to happen.
No slacking off.
So, prosecution has closed this case. They're going to start back up now with the defense presenting their witnesses. I presume there might be some form of counsel for Bannon in there to speak to the letter invoking executive privilege. Bannon might himself testify since he's been using the podium outside to do it quite vocally, so he might seize the opportunity. And then they close up, and then there's going to be closing arguments and a verdict. I suspect it's going to be done by the end of the week. I don't see how this can go on for much longer. We'll see what the day holds today, but that's it. I'm not changing my initial prediction. I think this was a done deal from the get-go. Prosecution has gotten its evidence in, service of subpoena non-compliance, and I don't know that Bannon is going to be able to invoke any defenses that are going to be accepted by this jury.
All right, where can folks find you? Where can they find the podcast? How do they get to this? So
you can find, I've been doing daily streams on my YouTube and Rumble channel, Viva Fry. You can find me on Twitter, Viva Fry. And the Post Millennial, I've been doing daily exclusive summary analysis updates. At the end of the day, you can find that on the Post Millennial, and I've been tweeting the links to that. Let Greg say it on Twitter.
Viva, thank you for your service. You got a beautiful little girl. Don't think the War Room missed her popping in that shot. That's part of your whole thing.
He's a boy. He's just got long hair like his dad. Well, I need to get a better one.
Oh, that's great.
Just give me a door here.
Viva, have a great life. We'll see you soon. All right, Cameron, can you play that clip of Draghi real quick?
Grazie per questo.
You can watch mine, Joe. We just want to watch mine.
All right.
Harnwell, break this down for us. What the heck is going on in Italy? Why does this matter? Morning, Terry. Morning, Potter. Well, today is something that War would predict only 10 days ago. The government here in Sri Lanka is a coalition government, 10 years held together at best, has finally fallen.
Yeah, it was thrown out yesterday.
As we know, he's a technocratic president. He's not a president of the council, I should say. He's not a deputy of the lower house or a senator. He's simply picked by the president of the republic, and it was to the president of the republic, Senator Mattarella, and he went. That's the official residence behind me, the president of the republic's official residence, the Queen Island, and he went. He went here. Just came in this morning, and he submitted his resignation for the second time in 2 weeks. This time it's been accepted. The thing too I want to drill down on is because the Western media is pushing out so much disinformation. It's absolutely unbelievable. They're saying the government fell because one of the coalition partners was unhappy to do with an incinerating dump just outside Rome. This is absolute nonsense. The reason this government would still be in place until the end of the legislature, Mario Draghi would still be Prime Minister until the end of the legislature. But for one thing, there's massive social dissatisfaction in Italy right now due to the high cost of living and high fuel, inflation, and all of this can be traced back to the insane policy of our sociopathic overlords with regard to Ukraine, and specifically Italy. That is, Mario Draghi was in the forefront of the pro-Zelensky brigade. This is more than Olaf Scholz in Germany, more than Emmanuel Macron in France. The question is now, with Mario Draghi out of the picture, who is going to be leading the pro-Zelensky faction within the EU?
Well, Ben, my question, of course, is that we're seeing the fall of this government in the Vespas running behind you, as I've got the students walking around behind me here at Turning Point, at SAS. I've got Tampa, Florida, the center of the conservative movement. But we're seeing the collaborative approach of these governments. They pursue these ESG policies. They shut down their own gas. You've got the right? They're talking about potentially having to chop wood for the winter. Is there anyone in Italy, is there anyone in Western Europe that has an actual plan forward when it comes to energy? Because if you continue to do this, if you continue the financialization of markets, as Steve said, getting the show and play that clip with him, then you are always going to lead to populist uprisings, and you're always going to lead to leaders, by the way, like Donald Trump, rising up to fight back against these corrupt. Is there anyone in Italy with any semblance of what they used to call common sense?
Not particularly, Jack, but I have to say the strategy that the most political parties seem to be adopting right now is the Dave Putin strategy. So carried all of the 27 member states, and perhaps even to some extent, the failing Biden administration along as well. But the price is right, the more people feel impoverished, the less they're going to be satisfied with what we are effectively easily disprovable lies. Or the gender, and that is the government of Sri Lanka. And there are several other governments shuffling on immediately behind Italy. Italy's not going to be the last government now that's going to fall. Already last week, we had the Latvian Prime Minister resignation, seeking a fresh mandate from the president of the. That's stacking up now. So it's like at the airport, the airplanes are all circling around ready to land. Behind Italy, there are a number of other countries, and time, all that is required is time to flow, and other countries will start to collapse as well. Jack, I can just say one thing, however. Now, I've got this. No. I'm going to go ahead and say this, right? I haven't had a chance to double verify it, but I'm going to go on a limb. There are reports that this morning, when the Draghi attended the his resignation. Vladimir Putin augmented the gas supply for cubic meters a day. So this is a clear sign, right? It's a clear sign that I'm working with you. I had to get out of here pretty quickly, but I hope to talk about that later on today. But what this means, Jack, is that Vladimir Putin has the economic viability of the EU. As if you had them directly. Now, the two countries that would affect the most is Italy, but before Italy, Germany, which are the two EU countries most dependent on Russian gas that are pushing hostile policies towards the Kremlin right now. There are other EU countries that are just as dependent on Russia. It's to me to be clear that Mario Draghi, who he seemingly went out of his way to push a hard line, a hard anti-Moscow line, he went out of his way publicly to say to his EU member state colleagues that he wants to get a price roof imposed on Russian fuel, right? So they say that the EU would pick at all. And Mario Draghi was the real leader of that. So he went out of his way to antagonize Vladimir Putin. The economy was suffering because of the gas, the Russian gas withdrawal, and that just floated back up to normal today. So there's a clear cause and effect consequence here. First order, second order, third order, fourth order consequences. This government would still be secure. I repeat, Mario Draghi would still be secure if it weren't for the bizarre policy that was not furthering Italy's national interests with regards to Ukraine. So go ahead.
No, I mean, as they always say, we got a couple minutes left here in a second, but as they always say, the enemy always gets a vote. Because we're already seeing now, as I mentioned to you yesterday, Lavrov came out and saying that they're changing the parameters of the special military operation, and they're now looking at territories beyond Donbass, beyond Donetsk, Lugansk provinces, those provinces, that they are now, and essentially, I believe, I think everybody knows, that they're saying this in response to the long-range weapons, the long-range rocket system sent over by the West, and they are now essentially, and I think everyone knows that where they're talking about Mykolaiv, Odessa, the entire southern coast of Russia, something you refer to it as, looking at a landline of Ukraine. Is there a reason, and as we close this out, why, and we might be able to go to the next that's great, I'm sorry about that, but is there an ability to understand that both sides have some say?
It really depends on how informed and how activist the electorate, I think at this stage, Jack, the electorate wants to be and how much it wants to make its voice heard. If people want to be passive and allow the government to just steer whatever course it wants to steer with explicit disregard to its own people, they just want to follow what the mainstream media trends are. But of course, then these governments will be able to do that, and there's no need for two sides to get together at all. But it's not now, though, that people, when they feel the consequences of incompetence in their own pocket, when they don't have any way. Yes,
we're going to carry this over into the break, so stay tuned. And I want you to come back and continue this, and I also want you to tell us when we're going to have like that. So we'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real change. War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon.
Pandemic is a demon. We can't let this demon hide.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Good morning, War Room Posse. This has been an awesome day. My first time, hosting War Room without Steve here. And it's been a little bit stressful. And I am really looking forward to going home tonight to my pillows, my pillow mattress topper. My wife bought that for us a few years ago, and it's changing. So I just want to encourage you all, my hotel is, targeted and attacked by the regime nonstop. So we gotta support him and keep him afloat, make him as successful as possible. So go to mypillows.com, promo code WARROOM, and have the best night's sleep in the whole wide world. mypillow.com. Ben, we're gonna take it back to you. So close us out here. What do people have to know, and where can they find findings?
I'm exclusively on my Twitter, which is simply my surname, is at Arnwell. There are a number of imposter accounts, so folks should go to the one which is a little bit red and white, being for verified. And I'll be updating my feed later on today. The big development here that we're waiting for outside the Quirin outlet is that, right now, in fact, at 4:30, Elisabetta Casaletti, who's the president of the Italian Senate, should be paying a courtesy call on the president of the Republic, and immediately after her, at 5 o'clock, it's going to be the president of the Italian House of Representatives, Roberto Fico, and they're going to decide together, let's say, with the president, whether it's possible that they can scratch out till the end of the mandate next spring a different government, but with effectively the same parliamentarians, or whether it's dissolve parliament and go to fresh elections, early elections in September or the beginning of October. So those are the developments here. The whole of the press corps standing here to my right will be waiting for.
All right, Ben, thank you so much for joining us, and we will stay tuned back on later.
God bless.
All right, so the next segment, this is awesome, actually.
Pedro Gonzalez is one of the most underappreciated conservatives in the country. And I don't know anything is very called a conservative. He's really just an American. He, a few years ago, he wrote an article highlighting something fascinating about the whole transgender movement, which is that Abbott Laboratories, better known as AbbVie, had made over $728 million off of their puberty blocking drug known as Lupron. In 1 year alone, it was 2019 to 2018. And then, a few years ago, my mind changed about how this transgender fight is really not just a bunch of gender confused people, it's really now an industry. There are people, there are shareholders, there are corporate jerks who are profiting off of the exploitation of children. So Pedro and I are actually teaming up on a report, and I asked Pedro to join us, kind of talk a little bit about this and what he's found as we've been going through this research. So Pedro, run us through this, right? Like this transgender thing, the left would have you believe that it's just a bunch of people who feel uncomfortable with their bodies and they want to live as they feel. What's going on?
Terry, first, thank you for having me on. This issue, I think, is unprecedented in the sense that there is so much power and money behind it relative to the size of the group it claims to represent. Transgender people suffering from gender dysphoria, really. We really haven't seen anything like this. This is really an international thing. It goes beyond the United States. The project we're working on is limited to the United States, but it's actually astonishing that once you take a closer look at this, you really kind of have to take a step back and ask yourself what's really going on here. So just a kind of snapshot, the global market valuation for sex reassignment surgery is expected to exceed more than $1.5 billion by 2026. This is a massive industry. And like you said, it's not just about helping people that would improve their quality of life by permanently mutilating their bodies and ultimately really becoming lifetime customers of these various medical and pharmaceutical companies, because that's actually what happens. Once someone decides that they can change their gender, they actually become dependent on certain industries. The healthcare industry, the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, they need to constantly be going to clinics and constantly be taking drugs as part of this process, right? So there's a whole lot of interest involved. Yes, there are ideologues, in other words, there are radicals who are pushing this stuff on us, on families, on children, on very younger children all the time. Those people are real, they exist, but the real problem is that they're aided and embedded by these massive corporations that have tons of power and are able to get what they do on the White House, right? Ideas that you like.
I guess I want to credit you on this, right? Because it really tied up what's out there. The corporations, big pharma, these hospital issues, we all know that these surgeries and these hormone treatments cost a ton of money. But you really want to connect the dots of, the profits. I was wondering, if you could talk a little bit, I wanted to continue your points and go into that, but can you talk? Because the thing is, when you start making profits off of this stuff, you can then invest that in the lobby and politics where you can garner power. I always wonder if that's the main push behind the Equality Act and the transgender legislation that's out there.
Well, I think, again, there's the ideological component, and you can't dismiss these true believers. There are people who really do believe in this stuff. They're wrong. In fact, they're insane, and a lot of them are deviants. But really, the power behind them, it's not that their ideas are sound or that they're based on, proper studies and things like that. Oftentimes, the evidence that contradicts their findings is suppressed or severely qualified. So again, it's not like their arguments are better. It's precisely what you just said. There are massive entities, not this stuff. And that's ultimately what tends to drive this forward. And a great example that kind of shows a snapshot of this relationship. I call it the transgender Leviathan just because it's so massive and it's so Byzantine in the way that it's arrayed against us. The White House recently cited to transition children or experiencing confusion about their gender in order to reduce the likelihood of suicide, right? So that claim itself is already flimsy. There's a lot of evidence that suggests that transition therapy doesn't actually reduce suicidality. In some cases, it might actually worsen it. So that, we put that aside, right? A society. Well, the Trevor Project, also has an association with AbbVie, through the AbbVie Foundation. AbbVie Incorporated happens to be one of the companies that produces Lupron, which is one of the top two puberty suppressing drugs that's used as part of the transition process. And if you
Where you go with that?
other things,
I'm gonna go up.
related to
Get up.
What are you going? Open the thing up. Eat your food.
I'm still eating it.
Well, eat it.
Once you start doing that to kids, suppressing puberty, the likelihood of them taking the next steps, each of which is more and more irreversible, increases dramatically. It's like a gateway drug, right? But anyways,
Pedro, we got some breaking news. Where can people find you?
you can find me at chroniclesmagazine.org and on all social media platforms at Ian.
Talk about this report. Thank you for your service. Guys, this is just breaking. President Biden has tested positive for COVID. That's obviously going to have huge implications. He's already not a real commander-in-chief. He's out of his element. He's out of his mind. He's a puppet president. Jack, what's going on here? What do you think's going to happen from this? Is this a small thing? Or are they going to use this as an opportunity to get him out?
Well, and first of all, just have to say, thank you so much for bringing Pedro on. I mean, Pedro was amazing, totally underappreciated. But the point is, it's not that he's a writer or a journalist or a reporter. He's a Sicario. He's a Sicario. But when he comes down to this, President Biden, right? Joe Biden comes down to COVID. The guy who can't even stand upright on a fight. Yesterday he said he had cancer. He had that slip of the tongue. I think he probably, that was a Freudian slip. He knew that he had COVID yesterday. He knew that something was going on. He knew that he had it. Terry, here's what's going to happen. This is the moment. Going from the commander-in-chief to the cackler-in-chief. We are going to have her up there. Let me just tell you something. When the work needs to get done, we're going to do the work because we're going to walk and do the steps of the walking to make the work, to take the work. That's all that you're going to see Kamala Harris. I've said this from the beginning. She is going to be the first female president of the United States. She already was the first acting female president. The Sun, America. Kamala Harris. Like, you may have wanted somebody else. You may have wanted to vote for somebody else. You thought maybe we would elect. You know, maybe elect a person. No. She's going to be in there. And the only question, in my mind, is how long Kamala Harris is going to be in there. She's going to be pushing every single crazy policy from the squad left that she can do. She will use it. She will use this to set up the 2024 campaign. You know, clip this, screenshot it, whatever you're going to do. She's going to use this time. Biden steps back. She's going to use this as an opportunity to step up, to take the front stage, and then use the front. She's already talking, by the way, about doing a 2024 campaign. That's in the works. This is going to be the moment that she's going to look for. Now you're going to see, right, where the analysts had it. What you're going to see is that she's going to look for some big move, some big accomplishment, some big action that she can take while Biden is in the wings. Even if he doesn't formally step down and make her acting president, we're going to see her make some big move that she will be able to link back to while she's on that 2024 campaign trail. Watch this. You're going to see 100%.
Jack, this is the president that literally no one wanted. No one voted for. I mean, this is crazy. I actually think that they're setting themselves up for failure in 2024 if they go this route, right? Because if they do this, she becomes the first female president. How are they going to get rid of her through the convention process? She's super unpopular. No one likes her. I mean, she's like one of the top. Like my mom actually commented. She said, she's like, Harry, I'm not going to, like, I actually think you might make a better vice president than Mueller. We're saying a lot, because I'm getting terrible vice president, right? But like, shut up. Like, I was it is a nightmare waiting for them.
No, and it's nightmare waiting for the American people. If she is able, when you think of vice president, you're not supposed to be someone that you know will stand to his back. That's what Kamala Harris is. I've talked about this White House being political intrigue and like what's going on since day one. That's now spilled over. Everybody's talking about it now. People used to say, "Oh, Bozo's crazy. Think it's all out." Blah blah blah. Now we've seen it from day one. Mark my words. Kamala Harris will use this as the ability to kind of totally become, as she might if things get worse. We don't know. The guy said he had cancer yesterday. And by the way, the White House just came out and they said, "Oh, well, no, we're talking about the cancer that you used to have, and it was these melanoma."
He's losing his mind.
He didn't say had. He said has. The man said he has cancer. Now he's got COVID too. So he's got COVID and cancer to prepare. That's question.
Jack, we will be right back with my great friend Tiffany Justice. Stay tuned. Moms for Liberty. Come back.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real change.
Hello? I'm sorry. All right then.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Let's do it.
What's in your hand?
Julia, what's in your hand?
I don't believe you. Alright.
Has arrived. Social media taking on big tech, protecting free speech. Excellent cancel culture. Join the marketplace of ideas. The platform for independent thought has arrived. Superior technology. Or selling your personal data. No more censorship. No more cancel culture. Enough. Getter has arrived. It's hard to say what you want, the way you want. Download now.
We'll be learning, of course, for the Biden camp now, the president's camp, learning that he has now tested positive for COVID.
Well, the early indications I'm getting is that the president's health is fine. Obviously, he has this diagnosis, and they're going to be giving him, of course, the best care imaginable, as you would expect for the president of the United States. But the early indications from sources at the White House I'm talking to is that the president feels fine. I was actually on the South Lawn of the White House last night when the president returned from that trip to Massachusetts. He was with staff. He seemed in good spirits. He actually sort of chided the reporters on the South Lawn, including myself, who were shouting questions at him because he had just answered questions to another group of reporters earlier. But it's really worth underscoring how significant this moment is. Obviously, the President of the United States being diagnosed with COVID is important. But it's important to put it in context as well, because this was a campaign that I covered in 2020 in which COVID was the #1 issue. And the Biden campaign really prided itself on the degree to which they were, and it's carried through to the White House as well, modeling the best behavior both in terms of precautions, and the campaign took a lot of grief for that so-called basement campaign, but slowly reingratiating itself into campaigning in public. But even when they did that, limiting his interactions as much as possible. And then, of course, in the White House, for so much of the early months of the administration, even after the president, as president-elect, had been given his first doses of the COVID vaccine, extreme precautions were taken above and beyond even what the CDC had recommended in order to keep the president safe. Just in the last few weeks, there has been a significant back and forth between the press corps and the White House about releasing the testing results as they were coming in. We knew that the president has what they call a regular testing cadence, often Mondays and Thursdays. The White House has sort of stopped proactively releasing the fact that he had received negative tests, but Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, just yesterday, in fact, had released information on his previous test just after he returned from Saudi Arabia, indicating that he was negative. But obviously, the timeline suggests that the president had just returned on, I believe it was late Saturday night to Washington, that perhaps he contracted this either at the late stages of his trip or in the early stages of this week.
Mike, we're getting
unreal. I mean, this is President Biden. I mean, you still see these clips of him when he's walking and doing these events. He's wearing his double mask, right? How many vaccines has this guy gotten? How many times has he been boosted? And he's now getting it. Jack, do you think there's anything that they released this to cover up something else in the press? I mean, are they trying to get away from the whole cancer thing?
Gotta show her justice.
Well, I do think that it certainly does help them get out of that situation, because, of course, that was a huge firestorm. But they were the president of the United States, right? Let's think on the fact that it's Joe Biden for a second. I mean, we can't, just right? If the president of the United States comes on TV and announces to the world that he has cancer, think about how that created around the world. I'm talking about this. Think about the Russians take that. Think about the Chinese take that, right? North Korea, Iran. They understand. By the way, the people in Ukraine that essentially decided to go along with this. They're expecting the backing of the United States. They're expecting Joe Biden to be the one in there. Now all of a sudden he comes out and he says he got cancer. So and I get what you're saying, Eric, because this is a classic political strategy. And if you want to change something, you admit to a lesser offense. Right? So you admit to a lesser offense. In this case, the accusation is that perhaps it's that he's going to get cancer, but the lesser offense is okay. Well, didn't she give you her heart? PR strategy. I don't know if that was any indication of it, but it certainly is knocking all of that out of the headlines.
Major publication.
No, I think it seems like that's the case. I want to take it to Tiffany Justice. By the way, American Principles Project, I view us as kind of like the dads of the pro-family movement. But Tiffany Justice is, moms from the moms. Like, they're organizing, they're nurturing, becoming politician spankings, when they're getting out of line and killing our kids in school. Tiffany, I'm hearing a lot about this National Joyful Warrior Summit. Talk to us about that. And I want to talk about education too, but tell us about this National Joyful Warrior Summit.
So we've had over 500 people come in Tampa. I think Jack is actually in Tampa right now. So we were there last weekend.
And moms and dads and community members from over 30 states came together, and it was awesome. It was inspiring. We helped parents to get tools in their toolbox to be more effective advocates to defend parental rights. And it was just a great event to be a part of, and really should be kind of a warning sign for every person running for office. If you're not paying attention to parents, you might have trouble getting elected this year.
Mama Bears are coming for you. What I've noticed is, rewind, even 3 years ago, talks of abolishing higher education were still like fringe. But as we have seen the incredible, the insane overreach, right? Like gay porn books in our kids' libraries, this gender curricula, all this programming that's going on in schools. There's like that. Those voices are so crazy for. Talk to us about this. I mean, because what's going on with the laws and abolishing in the Department of Education? Did she call for that?
She did. So she wrote a book called Hostages No More, and I was lucky enough to be able to interview her at the summit on Saturday. And she said that she believes that the Federal Department of Education should not exist, and she got a standing ovation for that comment. American parents have seen that the federal government should not be involved in education, and certainly not in the decisions that are being made, in your local school.
In exchange, you won't tell anyone that I'm
into our states. They also saw the, gosh, what's that? I don't even know if there's a nice word for it. The way that the unions manipulated and used their connections with the federal government, with the Biden administration and the CDC to keep our schools closed. So American parents want less bureaucrats to have influence in our children's education, and abolishing the Federal Department of Education is one more step to making sure that that's the case.
Tiffany, we're running out of time for this segment. Where can people find you? I'm a huge fan of Moms for Liberty, especially Tiffany. Tiffany, where can people find you? Get engaged, talk to us.
Absolutely. Go to momsforliberty.org. You can look to see the chapter in your area, or you can start a chapter, look to start a chapter. You can follow. And I'm for Liberty. Catch us and join us. We have no work to do.
That's true. We'll see you guys very soon after the break.
All right.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you. With America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real change.
I'll show my appreciation by making it easy for you to ditch class. Just think about it, okay? Thank you for using our service.
killed more than 100 people in China, and new cases have been confirmed around the world.
You don't want to frighten the American public,
France and South Korea have also got evacuation plans.
but you need to prepare for and assume
Strongly warning Americans to avoid all non-essential travel to China.
that this is going to be a real serious problem.
France, Australia, Canada, the US, Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, the list goes on.
Health officials are investigating more than 100 possible cases in the U.S. More than 100 people there have infected more than 4,500. We have to prepare for the worst, always. Because if you don't, and the worst happens. War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Welcome back to the War Room. My name is Terry Schilling, filling in for the legendary leader of the War Room Posse, Stephen K. Bannon. We still have a lot to get through today. My goodness, fight against COVID. Jack, you just made a point in the break. I want you to talk about the crisis of the vaccinated. I mean, these guys keep getting COVID. It's not stopping anything.
Right, and so we were told, how many times were we told going into the winter, this is going to be the winter of doom, like the winter of doom, the pandemic of the unvaccinated. And this is why these are the same political rhetoric, Terry, if you remember this, that the Biden administration used to impose those federal mandates on not only the federal workforce, but the United States military. And tens of thousands of people were either forced to take it, and then thousands more were kicked out of the military. Highly trained individuals. This is the reason, by the way, that we're now seeing the recruitment numbers going down, in addition to the military going through, right? Recruitment numbers are so far down, they're reducing the size of the United States military at the same time that the administration is better splitting out, is picking a fight with Russia in Eurasia. That's just a great strategy right there all around. Then you have people who will, every single one of these religious exemptions, in many of these cases, did not give the religious exemptions, and people said and because they had specific concerns over the fact that these vaccines, yes, I'm going to say it, were developed through the use of abortion-derived cells. And you know this. That was part of the testing process. And there are a lot of people, Terry, when I find myself in that same camp, that have a huge problem with using something that is derived from abortion because of the moral implications of that to create a product that you and I would take and give to our children, our wife, etc., right? These are huge issues. But the Biden administration said for all of this that because the unvaccinated, that the only way to stop the transmission, it never works. We have her lies too, by the way. She told us that the vaccine will stop transmission. She knew it was a lie. So it was a lie. It was a hope. It was a hope. Where's your hope now for Joe Biden? Well, apparently he's got cancer and COVID.
Jack, they're using this to purge our military of, it's like the cream of the crop, right? I mean, if you're still not vaccinated, if after all of that hysteria, right, and you didn't get vaxxed, you're either principled, a critical thinker, right, you're the type of person that you actually want in the military. Right? I got a guy, a neighbor of mine, his son went to West Point. They kicked him out of the military over not getting vaxxed. They denied his religious exemption. And it's like, are you familiar with any legal groups that are representing these guys? I know that the military is a totally different legal system, but how do they fight back? Is there anyone actually fighting them?
Yeah, there is, and I'll tell you who it is. And this is something that was said recently. The guy doesn't get a lot of credit for it, but there is one leader in the United States who said that he was going to make it a priority to make sure that every single person that was kicked out of the military, every single one of our honored troops that was treated this way, treated like garbage, by the way, like absolute garbage, kicked to the curb after having sworn an oath to stand up for the country. I'm sorry, I get a little passionate about this one. There was one person who said that he would reinstate them in full with time served, and that is Donald J. Trump. He said at a recent rally, I think it's one of the best things, one of the best political moves he's made. Donald Trump has this great ability in politics to find free money on the table that nobody else is picking up. They're just walking over and picking it up. You haven't seen anyone else. So we've got Pence is talking about running in 24 hours. He's doing meetings in D.C., by the way, next week. We have a heritage about this. And also, by the way, President Trump coming back to D.C. next week, speaking at the American First Policy Institute in Washington. I believe that's on Tuesday. So you've got Pence and Trump in D.C. We've got these sounds. We've got this noise from Nikki Haley camp that she might be running. A lot of people are talking about Kristen Noem potentially. Liz Cheney, I don't know. I think Liz Cheney, maybe she's trying to be the VP for Mike Pence. You get Pence, Cheney in there. And I think definitely like the establishment's dream team of essentially a ticket. But it was Donald J. Trump. It was Donald Trump who said, I return to office. Actually, he said, when I return to office, that I'm going to make sure that every single person that was kicked out of the military over this will be brought back in, reinstated, and the time, so that's time free. So the time that you were out, maybe that's time to deploy your next promotion, right? So all the time that they left.
I think we both agree that we do need a purge in our military. They're purging the wrong guys. The guys that,
I want to go football sour.
Yeah. No, that's right. All right, I want to take it to my good friend and someone I've really grown to admire, Russ Vogt. Russ, talk to us, tell the audience what just happened in Congress with this vote on marriage, right? I think they're calling it the Respect for Marriage Act. There were 47 Republicans who voted for this. It basically codified a murder bill. But I think actually a little bit further. I want you to talk about that. But I think one of the things that was most surprising to me was the head of the House Freedom Caucus, Scott Perry out of Pennsylvania, was one of the people that voted for it. Tell us what's going on and what this all means.
Yeah, I think on this one it's helpful to kind of give a linear account, which is how you and I lived it, which is earlier this week we found out the Democrats were going to do a flash vote. They didn't put this on the schedule. They didn't tell anyone this was coming. You and I were texting to figure out how to respond most effectively. And so what they did was they put a bill on the floor, and it would attempt to try to move away from where they believe they are vulnerable on the groomer issues and tie us back to the definition of marriage and an affirmation of Obergefell. But they went further, and they also included essentially an ability for any state's definition of marriage will be recognized federally, which has grave implications because you could have a polygamy decision at the state court that now has to be recognized federally across the country. Very, very problematic. This is something that the members voted on as well. They tried to tie in things like interracial marriage, which is literally no one is talking about messing with that at all. It's an equal protection violation in and of itself.
Stop. Interracial marriage. If I'm not mistaken, this whole thing is related to the opinion drafted by Clarence Thomas, who is himself in interracial marriage. Is that right?
That's right. And so they're so really culture wars, which everyone needs to understand. The viewers know we are in a culture war. They're reeling that they have to go back to the fact that somehow create a protectional issue about interracial marriage, and that has to be included in a bill that is largely about the definition of marriage. And so you had members having to vote on this. You and I put out statements immediately to run to the sound of the gun because we knew that you cannot allow the debate to be set as Republicans overwhelmingly go back on the definition of traditional marriage. You have to stand for truth, and culture may be against this, but culture was against this in the early 1970s. People got out of the wreckage of Roe v. Wade and started a movement and changed hearts and minds over a period of time. That's what we need to do on this as well. So fast forward to the vote, you have a lot of people working it. We were working it. You were working it. Members on the floor were as well. And we got to a fairly good result. I was encouraged by most Republicans, about 140 plus, stayed strong on the definition of marriage as a union between man and woman. Unfortunately, we lost the chairman of the House Freedom Caucus. We didn't lose a single other member of the House Freedom Caucus, but we lost Scott Perry. Gravely disappointed. He knows I'm disappointed in his vote. But it is very troubling, and that's really one of the main flaws of this week's largely success in being able to keep Republicans on board. But this bill is dangerous. It's now going to the Senate. The Senate could pass it, and we've got a lot of work to do. And people might be thinking, well, why are we talking about this right now? It's because we are in a culture war, and when you're in a culture war, you've got to be able to articulate truth in the midst of that and do your best, even when the culture and the society is against you. Because with confrontation, you have the ability to educate the country about what is true and what is not true. And you can't go out there as a leader of the Congress and say, this untruth is something we're going to embed in our laws. That's not what leadership looks like.
No, that's exactly right. And look, from my perspective here on this vote, I think it upsets me because it was a missed opportunity. What's happened since Obergefell? Right? What has happened? We're going after bakers, we're going after florists, we're shutting people's businesses down because they don't want to participate in gay weddings, right? So that's huge. But I think the even bigger thing is we now have transgender children who are getting sex changes, hormone treatments. They're putting boys in our girls' sports. They're making billions of dollars a year off of all of this stuff, by the way. And they're using the LGBT movement to literally eliminate Christianity from this country. And so it's like, guys, all you have to say is in your budget, there's two things you can actually say in voting down this is, I don't think that things have really progressed in the best way since Obergefell, since we mandated nationwide abortion or gay marriage. But the other thing is what the Democrats say when we pass the sports legislation. And this is a solution in search of a problem. Why are we voting on this? Right? And just real quick, I just give me a soapbox here. The thing is, they're retreating now. Right? Like, the figure, so there's signal and then there's noise. The noise is that this bill, like, really, I think, changes that much, right? You already have gay marriage across the country. It's not like a huge victory for Democrats. The signal here, though, what you need to pay attention to is Dems are losing on the other fronts, and they're recalibrating, they're retreating back to where they're more comfortable. And they're not just retreating to gay marriage, they're retreating back to interracial marriage. Like, that's how badly they're getting their butts kicked, is that they have to retreat all the way back to interracial marriage. Something that's not on anyone's radar, no one cares about it, no one's really talking about it, besides, anyway, weirdos. I don't know. I don't know what your reaction is to that, Russ, but it's just, these guys are so lame, they're so weak. They can't be creative. Like, this was not a hard vote to take in reality.
They are so desperate. They have a 100-year strategy. They have a strategy that says we're going to call our enemies bigots and racists, and we will do whatever is necessary to be able to maintain that. And it doesn't work anymore. Parents and moms, you just talked with one of them, had risen up across the country and said, we know you're going to call us a racist, but we don't care anymore. We know we're not. We have the moral high ground. And in a cultural war, we have to have the moral high ground. We will maintain the moral high ground. We need members in the arena who don't feel like on the high ground of defending traditional marriage. They need to defend their vote when they are going against traditional marriage. And unfortunately, a few of the people that voted the wrong way are having to do that right now.
Russ, how do people find you? How do they get to you? How do they find out more?
AmericaRenewing.com, and they can get me at Russ Vote on all the channels.
Come on, man.
But still, a great show coming up. We got Mark Fincham, we got Mike Davis. We got a packed show. It's gonna be great. We're gonna love it. We're talking about all the legal fights for election integrity. Going up to Arizona. Stay tuned. It's a great show.
Oh man.
Now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real change.
Welcome.
Ah, she reeks of booze. What a surprise! I thought you were joking. Yes, here you are. I respect that bravery, so I'll listen to what you have to say. Well, what do you want to know? Oh, why that? I always do happen to know something about that. I can't tell you later. Do you know the Phantom Thieves of Hearts? You know, that case the public has been focused on. What's pursuing the issue of people randomly entering into a shutdown state? Lacking Wednesday. That's what I'm currently looking for new material to write about. So, do you have any info on these voices? Something like that. You're a teaching kid, right? I remember you wearing a uniform the last time we met. I thought maybe you might have some insider knowledge on the Phantom Thieves because of it. Their first instinct was that of Kamoshida, you know? Ideally, I'd like to get some exclusive coverage from the people who suffered Kamoshida's abuse. I would
Now
love
at
to
a point
get
where
that
there is no quick fix, it's going to be multiple confrontations, and it's going to be generational struggle, or at least a decades-long struggle. But I do think that there are signs of hope.
Well, let's take in Arizona. Rusty Bowers, a man who has displayed enormous character, publicly speaking out against Trumpism.
You better be thankful. My quick wit was the only reason we're getting this far. Yeah, think about it. Those mental shutdowns and the Phantom Thieves both seem supernatural. Could they be related? Or am I just hoping for a coincidence? Sorry, I have a tendency to talk to myself on occasion. Well then, I can't exactly consider this an upfront payment, but... Junya Kaneshiro. I think he's probably the guy you're looking for. Yes! You should check him out further if you're curious. But I'm not responsible for what happens next. Lollatron, can I get a refill for this can? We need to make a toast to our new acquaintance. It'll be a problem if you stay too long. You should leave right after you finish your water. Yes!
All right. Dude.
Wanna head back? Hey,
Let's do it.
okay.
I can't believe you guys ditched me yesterday. I almost entered a world I want nothing to do with.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Just start it up, Yusuke.
Okay, I entered Konoshiro's name into the map. And just as expected, it's a hit.
All we need now are the two other documents. 36 of his house and where it is. But we don't have any clues other than people falling victim around here. We'll just have to try whatever keywords we can come up with.
Oh, that's gonna be impossible. How many buildings do you think there are?
No complaining.
If we can figure out what the palace is, we may be able to guess where it is by association.
It's probably somewhere he's got complete control over. Maybe a garden?
He likes money, so what about a money bath? I've seen people online with things like that.
No, not even close. And I'll go. I see. Okay, that's a hit. So, he thinks of somewhere in this city as his own thing.
I thought it'd be something less realistic. That's all it is, huh? Now then, what location would Kaneshiro think of as his bank?
If we're talking about a place where he keeps his cash, maybe his own hideout?
How about a real bank? His cognition wouldn't be distorted in that case.
Damn it, we ain't getting anywhere.
This may be difficult to explain, but doesn't it seem we're thinking a little too inside the box? Palaces emanate a passionate madness. It feels as though we're missing that aspect.
What the hell are you talking?
This palace is a bane for someone who extorts money with criminal acts. It's something more.
But what other ways can we think about it? Oh, could it be the police? Hold on. Do you think it might have something to do with the victims? He's taking money from his victims' wallets, right? That means his bank is wherever they are. That's terrible. But you may just be right.
Oh, come on! How many people do you think Kanashiro's taking advantage of in all of Shibuya?
Wait a second. I have a hit.
Wait, what? Did I say something right?
The place that Kanashiro thinks of as a bank is all of Shibuya.
What? Like, the entire city?
I see. That's certainly where his victims are. Turns out he really is a terrible criminal.
But wait, is it okay for us to go into the palace right out of a crowd like this?
Nobody notices if a piece of trash disappears from the trash can. This ain't any different.
In that case, let's go.
Beginning navigation. What are those?
Never thought it would be the entire district. This portion is affecting the whole of Shibuya.
Wait,
Oh, that's right. Even when we were in the castle and the museum, the city outside was normal.
everyone in Shibuya as his patron. Those cries for Akeos. Next we focus on finding Tamashiro's location and stealing his treasure as soon as possible.
Yeah, his hideout's gotta be somewhere around here.
The epidemic is a demon. We cannot let this demon hide.
Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Madden.
Good afternoon, War Room Posse. It is me, Terry Schilling, filling in for legendary Stephen K. Bannon. We're gonna actually go into some of the stuff in the courthouse in a little bit. But I want to take this back to Mark. Mark, wrap this up. Tell people what they need to know. What do they need to do right now? If they're in Arizona, how do they get engaged? How do they take care of this thing and finish this fight?
Yeah, thanks, Terry. So I'm starting to highlight for you that we have an event tomorrow in Erskine Valley that's, I think, limited to about 5,000 people. That's been on the books for quite some time. And on the Sky Blue, Mike Pence, Doug Ducey, Jan Gruber, they're going to hold an alternative event supporting the swamp creatures. You're Taylor Robson, Bo Lane, their alternative slate of establishment types. I'm reminding that Bo Lane is actually a Democrat plant. He's given repeatedly to Act Blue, to Greg Stanton, a Democrat congressman. In fact, that's the seat that actually flipped Arizona from red to blue in our congressional caucus. So we have the swamp versus the establishment. Or, I'm sorry, the establishment versus the grassroots. And I think it's interesting that they chose a place not more than 20 miles away from where President Trump is going to be, and at the exact same time. So this is truly a grudge match between the establishment, you might say Doug Ducey, and President Trump. I think that the Trump event is sold out. I would love to see like 12 people in circles at the Pence event. I'm not sure that probably is too much to ask for, but if people want to help me, and by the way, we are about 5 points ahead of the competition. That's still a little too close for my comfort. We're seeing undervote with independents and even with Republicans. So I'm hoping that people will go to the polls if they haven't done their early voting. And of course, vote for me. But if they want more information on me, if they want to donate to the campaign, because this is getting expensive. This is the most expensive primary in Arizona history. They can go to votepension.com. That's VOTEFLINCHEM.com and click the donate button up in the upper right-hand corner. Or if they want to watch the previous interviews so that they know that I'm the real deal, they can click the God News. So thanks for your time, guys. I really appreciate getting the word out. And this truly is, in Arizona, the swamp fighting the grassroots. They want us to sit down and shut up. That's not happening.
Mark, keep fighting the fight, brother. We appreciate everything you do. Guys, we got to get engaged. We got to get them over the top, over the finish line. We only have a few more days left. This is what this country is all about. It's winning elections and taking back power from people. Thank you so much, Mark, for joining us. Guys, we have Joe Neerman is on the ground. He's just literally, this is a great war with we have people everywhere. Joe literally just stepped out of the courthouse. Joe, can you talk to us about what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what's going on there?
No, just a car.
Sure. So today, yesterday, the prosecution arrested his five people because they only brought 2 witnesses. They had little more than 1 full day of testimony. And just 2 witnesses is Kristen Ameling and Special Agent Hart. And they said prosecution arrest. Now, with respect to today, we started at 11 o'clock. The judge told us we're going to have a late start. And he made reference at that time to when we get started, the defense can bring their Rule 29 motion for judgment of acquittal. So under Federal Rule 29, when the prosecution rests, the defense has the opportunity at that time to ask the court to give basically a directed verdict that no reasonable jury could possibly find for conviction. And these motions are always made, and invariably they are granted. But there are specific reasons why
attorneys bring it. I'm saying this as a New York litigator who came down here to cover this trial once and anything, in that once you bring this motion, you lock in place all the information that the prosecution has put before the jury, and anything that would come up down the road, which may somehow enhance the prosecution's possibilities of conviction, that would get excluded. So even though you know you're going to lose your motion, and everyone uses this motion, and I can assure you that Stephen's not going to win on this motion today, but those are the motions that are brought. The problem that came up this morning, though, is the judge realized that he said that in front of the jury. And he is concerned, very concerned, that since he made reference to the defense bringing this motion, and then he's going to deny the motion, that the jury will misinterpret that as him weighing in with his opinion that they should convict him, that they should not acquit him, that they should convict him. So he's very concerned about that, and he's asking both sides what steps they want to take to cure it. And he was thinking about saying, look, you might have heard me say yesterday that they're going to be motion to dismiss, but you need to understand my role in denying that motion, just sitting on that motion is different than your role, because I have to look at the facts in light most favorable to the prosecution. That's not your role. And when the strategy here is both the prosecution and the defense said, we don't want you to go through all that. Because if you go through that whole lengthy explanation, you're only calling more attention to it than if you say nothing and you just explain the difference in the law without making reference to the 29 motion. It's really interesting because the judge is arguing. He's very concerned. And it's like, even though both sides are saying they don't want to do it, I don't feel comfortable with just leaving it at your judicial instruction. I want to make sure I'm addressing this specific concern so they don't misinterpret what I said. So that was what was happening right when I came out. There's a lot of questions that people have with different speculation. We'll still take the stand and we'll keep it. Really succeed in getting any members of Congress to actually appear, and members of the committee be compelled to appear, as he's been very hopeful of. So, and if not, please, I'd love to come and appear on his behalf, because the only witnesses one can think of would be him standing on taking a stand himself, which that would be, oh my God, that would be crazy and wild. Yeah, what's the mood in the room? I mean, who does it feel like is winning, right? Like, is the prosecution pretty confident, throwing high fives? What's it like? It's actually very good on both sides. When you get the courtroom there, it's got the same type of atmosphere as I mean, the jury is far recessed, and you can't really see. They really engage. From what I've seen, they sort of been looking back and forth. It's not one of these long trials that they're trying to zone out. I mean, they're sitting there for 1 day. So it's not like they get engaged. Some of them are taking notes, others just simply looking, back and forth. As far as how this is going, it's how we expect it to go. In the sense that we're in Washington here, that as soon as they know it's going to be very hostile to Steve Bannon by nature. When I was watching the jury selection, some people got up there and they were like, I don't like his former boss. I think that one was out there said, I think he's guilty. The judge was like, okay, that's you wouldn't have that most places, right? Where like a detective juror gets up and says, I don't think he's guilty, I think he did it. And I don't know what I'm wasting one's time for. What was that? So, yeah, I mean, that's the overall attitude. I have more respect for the ones who admit their prejudice than the ones who pretend and say, hey, look, I think that, I think that I've never been a big fan. I've voted for him, but I think I can be fair. I set that aside. Those are the people who make me that much more nervous. Wouldn't they, right? Those who are trying to get on the jury. Yeah, I respect the other side when they come out and say that's where they're coming from. But I've been going on. You guys have more questions here.
Yeah, so I'm down here in Tampa, and you and I were together, and I saw it, and we saw Steve, and I think for the audience, I think the game would like to potentially know that, he's in there, and he's rock solid, he's not wavering, right? He's coming around, he's paying attention, he's taking his notes. He's engaged as he's ever been. Because, yeah, mark my words, it looks like to me that he's going to be using all of this when he's collecting receipts for something in the future. Tell me, what's Steve like in there? What do you think that when you look at Steve? By the way, today they're taking the masks off.
What are you getting at?
Mask anymore?
He's black.
Not just this game one.
Tell him if he doesn't want me talking to the police about it, he better agree to
So
me.
comfortable. He's just sitting there just watching what's happening. He's definitely engaged. He's definitely, you know, doing his, push yourself to get on a husher and he has a phone there. A husher is when there's private things at the gallery, national theater, private information.
Says he'll meet
There's a
you.
phone there.
Yeah.
And the same way when the attorneys have the other phone with the judge and
You
talk
better
directly.
be
He doesn't even want to on the phone. He's like, so not, he's the thing ever.
And when the judge came started yesterday, after Jimmy's in panel, the judge says, anyone sitting in the well, why
So they're working.
keep your mask on, keep your mask on, if you want to take your mask off, you have every right to take it. And before you finish the sentence, you yanks the mask off his face. It was hilarious. He literally yanked it off his grip down with his nose. And when he was easing the judge did not finish the sentence when he threw it off. And slowly but surely, pretty much everyone in that well, on both sides, they just started slowly pulling up the mask, which is almost a really stupid thing. They make us sit in the gallery. I mean, it's all mess. It's just virtually medicine. Whatever. I don't know what else we're getting into that. So we've been there, we've been covering it, and of course, Steve, believe it or not, it was still been up for his fees, right? It's not in court. And I think there was some Getter posts that were brought up in a trial. I wonder if this is the first time that Getter has been brought up in a criminal trial, or a federal trial. But I actually can't think of any other time that's happened. But when it comes to the actual situation, right? Do you think that Steve is worried? Because we do know that there is a potential, and I'm sure the prosecutors are going to go through this. They want to take the fine. Yeah, I don't think Steve has any concerns about that in the slightest. That doesn't mean he won't spend time in prison. The minimum sentence is 30 days, the maximum is 2 years, there's 1 year for each charge that they can be convicted of. So the maximum sentence is 2 years, but he has to go that comes into account. And can you imagine him spending more than like 16 days in prison? And what I expect to happen is this. I don't think the dog parties, you want to see him to spend time in prison, despite the fact that he tried in a political trial by his enemies in the most hostile arena in the world. The most likely way for him to elude that would be if he brings an appeal and he asks the court to stay execution of his sentence until after the appeal is heard. And if you pick something I got some breaking news about this case real quick. CNN just announced that Steve Bannon's team will not present their defense to the jury, so they're just going to let it go. Wow. Very bold. Very bold. You can't expect anything less. Yeah, because he's basically saying, I don't believe anything about this whole system that you have set up here. The whole committee is crap, this whole charge is crap. And yeah, all right, we're going to carry this into the break. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
Come on, you all look so dead. Get on home. Watch me avoid in the club. Damn, how cool be safe in the shop. Maybe some drugs too. Hey, there's a son there. I'm feed on dumb shits like you. Understand, pretty little student council president. Now listen up. Run your mouth to the police, and I'll break all of you, starting.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you can be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real change.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to drag you in like this.
For real?
I'm stupid.
I must agree. You should have easily imagined this happening.
Hey, you're so caught up in
Alright, enough of the blame game. Start is done.
I'm gonna crash for Sis too. My older sister has a commendable job and she's a much more remarkable person than me. A lot happened after we lost our father 3 years ago. Just us for these people. I'm still a child, so all I am is a burden to her.
That's why you were so right.
I just wanted to be useful in some way to someone.
You know, I might not get you in the situation, but you get off saying that you're useless to her?
It's the truth, though. In particular, I have to apologize for what happened to you. Now that I think on it, the truth about Kamoshida must have been covered up by the whole school. I had no suspicion. I couldn't do anything about it. No, I didn't do anything. Had I cared enough, I could have done something. People like me must really be what others call scum of the earth. Real scum wouldn't call themselves that. I'm a sin. Just like you said before. I was closest to Shinho, but I didn't do anything. Besides, Kamoshida's the one to blame. She told me to stay safe, and I need to. So Kamaki-san.
You didn't have a place to go on either. Isn't that right?
Me? Either? You won't let anyone fall victim again. Now, what should we do from here? I'll do something about the money. So can we please just swap the case with Kaneshiro?
Get her as a lie. We're all social media taking on big tech. Protect your speech. Canceling cancel culture. Join the marketplace of ideas. The platform for independent thought has arrived. Superior technology. No more selling your personal data. No more censorship. No more cancel culture. Enough. Dinner has arrived. It's not to say what you want, the way you want. Download now.
Cat?
Welcome back to the War Room. I want to read a quick quote that we got. So, from the case, Nichols asks, Van's defense, you're not intending to put any evidence to the
The
jury.
reason why we couldn't contact you is because we weren't considered his customer.
And wouldn't you say that she in particular is a
He's so
special
proud of this
customer?
guy.
Let's take a look.
No,
She is responsible for our
totally
current
aggressive.
situation.
You can't expect
Whoa,
anything
I
less.
don't follow this.
And you know what, frankly, we need to treat this as what it is, a huge show trial. It's a joke, it's unserious, it's fundamentally tyrannical,
Yeah, where are we
it's a
going?
show trial. I want to take it back to you, Joe. Close us out. What are the last things you want to leave us with, and how can people find you?
So, what it tells you is that he recognizes the left wants to make a martyr out of Steve Bannon. They basically, they're so foolish. Every time they try suppressing the right, every time they try sending a message that we're going to punish you, we're going to make an example out of you, all it does is it just makes the megaphone louder, it makes the figures larger than life. Now they're basically turning him into a political martyr. I think that they're so short-sighted, they want to get a 10-second win and not realize they're basically making Steve Bannon into an icon that is that much stronger. And I just don't, it's very, very foolish. And he recognizes what puzzling to me.
Well, the
What's
world
puzzling
is
to
kind
me
of hard.
is obviously Steve Bannon is not a guy that likes to win as much as he likes, or as much as he hates losing. Right? Like, he is about winning, but only because he hates losing. You're never that is a type of mental condition that is tough to beat. When you have an allergy and you're allergic to losing, you'll do anything to win, right? And that's what we're seeing from Bannon. He's never going to back down this stuff.
Right. And that's why he's like, I'm not going to bend the knee. I'm not going to give you what you want. I'm not even going to participate in your trial here. You wanted to send me to prison, go send me to prison, go punish me the way you want to, and I'll take it on the chin, and I will just keep growing and growing and getting stronger and stronger. So, that's it.
Joe, where can they find you?
So my name is Junior. You can find me on YouTube. My channel is called Good Logic, the G-O-D, Logic stuff, L-A-W-G-I-C. I'm a New York attorney. I do magnet streams from 10 to midnight Eastern, and I cover law, I cover politics, I walk with good. It's a fun show. That's Good Logic on YouTube. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Niermanjoe. That's Niermanjoe. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on here. And you guys are great. You're going strong.
Joe, my friend, thank you so much. Jack, we are in the final minutes of the show. And you know what? There's a clip I actually want to play. Cameron, can you get that up?
There's no excuse. Belichick's really going to be unvaccinated. They come from unvaccinated. No, wait, so now they more progress.
I'd like to speak with the bank.
This continues to be a pandemic of unvaccinated.
I need to talk to
From the quadruple boosted, triple masked commander. Jack, what's your reaction?
Attorney, it was 1 year ago today at the CNN town hall where President Biden said, if you get the vaccines, you will not get infected. How many times did he tell us this again and again and again? We're just seeing now coming across the desk here from former Hillary Clinton advisor stating, right, and I told you the sharks are circling the water because they can smell the body, smell the weakness. Hillary Clinton officially considering a run for the presidency in 2024. Stop. Is that real? It's so real. And by the way, last season they sent me over that one is real actually. And they sent me over a piece looking at the numbers up this morning. Because in the new Rasmussen coming up today, 69% of voters do not want Hillary Clinton to run for president again. 69%. So I'm surprised it's not right around where Joe Biden's is. Because they look at her as a loser, they look at her as a failed candidate, they look at her Joe Biden as part of that same kind of, clique of the old guard of the Democrat Party that they want to get rid of. And even though Kamala is sort of like she's like the Hillary of California anyway, right? She's at least someone that they'd be willing to get behind because she's just not one of them. But, as we close it out here today, I'm going to let everybody know we're down here at SAS, we're at the show here from the studio again today down here, and I would also thank Rumble for letting me use this as the Rumble.
It's 300,000.
Those Rumble, if you're watching War Room, or if you want to catch it after the show, right? You can catch it live on Rumble, you can also catch it in the clips that go up every day, with episodes every day. I'm a 2X guy. I like watching it if I'm not there, right, just watching it, I can't watch live. I go back, I listen to 2X, and it's one of the great platform to do that. And I really appreciate that coming in. I was watching like almost midnight last night, and then Steve was all set up to be able to do the show from here on SAS, which is the center of the service galaxy.
You better be ready, Connor.
You're not kidding.
We're gonna snatch your
I just want to say, you have to go to one of these training events. It can be student action summit. You don't get it until you walk into the doors and you see 10,000 young kids screaming at the top of their lungs. Tucker Carlson and Charlie Kirk. Charlie's doing a great organization over there. Jack, thank you so much. Real quick, before we sign off, we got about a minute left. I just want to put a plug in. Go to, you guys are fans of Redeemed International, folks. They're funrealnews.com. Check them out. They have good awards for. They need way more exposure. We need to expand that team. That's actually part of American Principles Project. It's one of our projects on News Outlet. So check us out on the web.
And back on this week, I did get him actually back on the show for the first time in like forever.
able to wonder what happened. And I just love her.
I think we can bring it back. And of course, the great man I did later on, Dr. Bird, she's still doing the work. I say we bring her back. What do you say?
Bring her back. Bring her back. Good. Thanks so much, guys. Check out American Principles product. It's safe and family.com. Join as a member for $8. Safe and family. Thanks so much, guys.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together, making change.
That won't work right now.
It is another win for Donald Trump as Maryland's Republican gubernatorial election is being called for Trump-backed candidate Ed Cox. 80% of the precincts counted. Cox has already more than 56% of the vote and raised the candidate Trump-backed candidate against the candidate endorsed by incumbent Republican Governor Larry Hogan, and the Senate will consider running for the White House against Donald Trump in 2024. While some of the races in Maryland are being called, all of the results are is happening today. That's because a number of concerns have been raised about faulty and unfunctional voting machines in at least 2 locations in Maryland. There are also reports this morning that some precincts had to turn away early voters because the voting machines weren't operational. We're, of course, working to find out what the problem was. I'll keep you updated as soon as we get more answers. 47 House Republicans crossed the aisle to join Democrats in voting for the Respected Marriage Act. The newly passed House bill would codify same-sex marriage into federal law if it makes it through the Senate. Surprisingly, though, House Freedom Caucus Chairman Scott Perry in Pennsylvania and Republican Conference Chairwoman Elisa Fleming in New York are among the dozens of Republicans who sided with Democrats on this issue. The bill and subsequent vote comes in response to Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's concurring opinion in the Dobbs case, which overturned Roe v. Wade. Justice Thomas, in essence, questioned the constitutional basis for Supreme Court decisions on gay marriage and interracial marriage. Republican Michigan Congressman Peter Meyer.
After we keep playing.
It's like this to be filled with poison pills, but it was only about 3.5 pages long, and it's pretty straightforward.
Mix the mango. I'll try to get
With
past that.
regards to a marriage between 2 individuals, regardless of sex, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of race, regardless of national origin, if it is legally performed in one state, and that's recognized for the purposes of state-based actions such as taxation in another state. That's it. There's no compulsion. There's
Here you
no
speak
friends
around
in
time
the
zero.
There's just a bunch of anything unlikely.
Well, I am a
Looking for original goes away. There is an absolute chaos.
I am a spy. That's a
I
ghost.
think it's the right choice. From a limited government standpoint, from a limited standpoint.
I'm a ghost.
Just avoiding any circumstance where that type of chaos from that one. Actually, Peter Meyer, one of the 47 Republicans who voted for this particular act. If the Senate passes the
I will one time I ghosted it.
signs it.
Because I died and I was a ghost and I said, it's blue, and they allowed me to say it.
While Democrats are clearly overwhelmingly.
And then blue was like, you're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to talk. Get there already.
For the last 11 weeks, we've had 50 care pregnancy centers vandalized.
I do plan to put where there's that's funny. The ghost. The color I'm green. It's my hat. Hello. Mommy, I need to go put my glasses.
Democrats on the House Rules Committee refused to even consider the measure. Criticizing the decision, Congressman Johnson will
Go through some
China
shit.
body saying, and I quote here, "We will respond and stand up against the mob. We will restore order. Outside the ability to act, we have an obligation responsibility to do what it says."
What's the point because I don't find food? If I find food, I'll tell you.
Security, and Republican lawmakers in the Biden administration.
I'm looking. I also want to do my task here.
The country's first
But I can't go to work.
addresses Congress. Their speech is
I can only go to work. It's blue. Who killed you?
During today's
Who killed you?
Zelensky is expected to update lawmakers on the security as well as
Abigail, who killed you?
on the ground. The $40 billion update comes
Oh, it's
on
not
the
saying that that's all.
aid package that Congress
There's
sent
a show my dead.
That aid package included $20 billion in military aid, nearly $8 billion in economic aid, and $5 billion in global food aid. That package, by the way, was funded by war tax. Tuesday,
You are muted. You cannot talk in this channel. No one is going to get a book of you. Abigail, we gotta keep on looking. Oh, I love the game. You love the game? Why? Did you like the game? Why did you love the game? So what are we gonna play?
Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country. And soon, you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the
Well, what are you gonna play on
country. For
Roblox? Why did you leave the game? Okay, I'm leaving. What are we gonna play, Abigail? Abigail, what are we gonna play?
show starts now.
Abigail, what are you
Welcome,
playing?
everybody. It is a beautiful day to be alive, a great day to be alive. Thank you for tuning in.
Abigail?
Watching. We are on our way.
What are we playing, Abigail?
And we have this 2-hour block. And we said, what can we do that would be different, that is applicable? That's
Abigail, what are we playing? We're not playing any of these.
special, not COVID. PA5, PA4.
Well, why didn't you tell me that? I asked
We
you.
have the best guest to talk about it. Dr. Pierre Corey, Steve Diggs, Dr. Malone. We're going to talk about the new German study that says 1 out of 5,000 injections had a severe effect on cancer vaccine. Extraordinary study and revelation.
As always, you guys can email me or call green@charliekirk.com for our guests throughout this next hour. As again, we have Peter Ford, Steve Bates, Dr. Noel, next 2 hours, I should say. I love hearing from green@charliekirk.com. Please consider subscribing to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast and downloading a couple episodes. A lot of you say, Charlie, I think that's 20 minutes of this. 10 minutes of that. That's what the Charlie Kirk Show podcast comes in handy. Every single podcast podcast app. So look it up, put Charlie Kirk Show, open it up with Charlie Kirk Show, and then subscribe in the upper right hand corner. You can email me, freedom@charliekirk.com. You allow me to help lead the discussion with your help, meaning that help me guide my discussion with them, I should say. Okay, freedom@charliekirk.com. As I mentioned, we are almost there, everybody. Our Attorney William say Student Action Summit is going to blow minds. I'm telling you, it's going to center of the conservative world for 3 days. It's incredible what our team has done at Attorney USA. Remarkable, really. Lauren, the whole team, they've done such a great job. Let's play cut 231. Remember, we have Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis on the action coming. If you are in Tampa, if you are in Orlando, if you're in Sarasota, if you're in Miami, drive it up. It is worth it. Play cut 231.
Wow, what an honor it is to be here with you all. Let me just give you a personal welcome to the free state of Florida. We as conservatives have got to stop playing defense. It's time for us to try to get material left. It's time for our generation to start to rise up and take back America for freedom.
Are you playing Among Us now? No, I'm playing it now. I'm getting crushed by, I'm playing get crushed by the wall.
Here's what we believe and why we believe it.
Tell the local media that we are here and they're here to stay.
When I see a room full of young people, it makes me realize we can win.
There is no better country in the United States. This country is worth saving, and it is you, the young people, that are leading the revival for America.
I want to play this. Okay, we're going to play Among Us. Okay, Among Us. Look, let me join it. Join it.
I know I won't be seeing many of you there in Tampa, Florida. It's going to be amazing. If you have a young person, a student in your life, you can't go to Tampa, show them TPUSA.
So I'm on the lookout to find.
Also, we have our new book coming out, College Scam. That's collegescam.com. You guys can check out registrations are rolling in, everybody, across the country. In fact, they're skyrocketing. I can't believe how many people are registering at the last moment. If you live anywhere in the free state of Florida, join us in Tampa, Florida. TPUSA.com.
I was going to look at some food bag
My
in
team said, Charlie, but they got to cut it off. We can't do any more registration. I said, no, we have to do it right. It's TPUSA.com/SAS.
I didn't die.
Special
No, last round.
Peter Corey,
Who
Dr.
are
Malone, Steve Days, subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. So many exciting things happening. We're going to take back our country, but we can't keep our eye off of the fight against our liberties, the fight for our liberties as they try to take them away. Stay right there.
No need to worry. I'm warm and happy. What do you mean?
That's confusing.
I had a feeling you could.
And also keep a lookout for food. That's what I'm trying to do. While I go through walls, so you have to look side by side.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice. Real America's Voice. Real America's
Where?
Voice is coming to a town near you with a
Yeah.
It's me. The real voice of
It's
America.
not you.
Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the
Oh
country.
my goodness, the three people. I wonder who it is. Because like one pasta. So two people must go against one and one, then pasta must go against another. Wow. Hey. Victory! Oh, I'm not there. Oh, I was brown. Abigail, I want my blue. I like blue. So now I'll be black. I'll be Julia with braids.
Oh, good morning.
Skin. Oh, I still have my coat. I wanted to make
Every day is a battlefield.
What, did you just see die? No, it's you. What's wrong, honey? I was saying like this when talking to my mom.
Still has the will to believe in the greatest country in the history of the world. This is the Charlie Kirk Show.
You can vote me out, but it's gonna say that I was not gonna talk to them.
Hello, everybody. Charlie Kirk here, radio stations across the country. Special hello to Real America's Voice. Email us your thoughts as always. freedom@charliekirk.com. Take out your
How's it
podcast app
got you?
and subscribe to the Charlie
I
podcast.
didn't say
I
that.
just want to get to and no time.
I might vote for you.
This is a voice of truth, a shining light. Someone like
Not even vote for me. But when you said you might be a vote
something that we on which inspired teams, Dr. Pierre Corey. Dr. Corey, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Charlie, good to be back.
So, Dr. Corey, I want to start. You've been
People
speaking
are
specifically
voting
about young
for me.
people that have been dropping dead.
Yeah,
One study in England shows a death rate 3.2 times higher versus unvaccinated and vaccinated. You quoted Ed Dowd.
Oh no, Abigail, you're having a break.
Taking place of the government potentially murdering its own citizens. That's a very charged accusation.
Please follow me.
What is going on with all these young people dropping?
It's hard to overstate the magnitude of that statement, right? At Dowd point.
I'm scared, I gotta finish my task. How do you know it's me? Because you said, I was about to kill. When somebody puts a missing button.
4 years old. The CDC has this data. And starting in 2021, right around the end of the first quarter, all-cause mortality started to rise.
Don't say it's
Historically unprecedented levels. And that's just one source of data.
Blue!
Very good source of data.
Because you stole my favorite color.
They can find it out of the mouths of their CDC.
Can I go for you, though? Oh, no, no. Okay, then I'll go for you. I'll say that it's good. Why is orange keep going?
It's not deaths of despair. Those are the causes, and we're drilling into the vaccines.
You know that works.
Disability figures are showing
Please, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Don't kill me. If I'm the last person, don't kill me. Don't kill me. You're after me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
That's just anecdotal reports, but the numbers of them are absolutely terrifying.
I can kill Blue. I can kill Blue. Yeah, she stole my favorite color. She stole my favorite color. I even allowed him to have black veggie tails and I gave him blue.
Zero coverage. And we're supposed to believe that it's sad, sudden adult death syndrome, and people that are dropping dead. And maybe that's just part of it. But I mean, for example, you
I killed Blue for you.
that hospitals are adding crash carts to
Say
almost
it's
every
teal.
What is a crash?
It's like
Yeah,
orange.
so that's one particular major hospital in the Midwest, which I have a colleague who works there, but the crash cart is where we keep all the equipment and medicine.
Right.
So that's a true medical emergency.
It's
Those
right.
emergencies happen routinely, but they happen inside hospitals on medical wards and in ICUs. And when someone is found to be pulseless or cardiac arrest,
you know, a whole response is triggered, and the crash card is central to that. And the thing about the crash card is
I said it's like when everybody voted for it, and he said no. When it say bye-bye, good luck. Oh no.
If in case someone else were to arrest in that same location.
Yeah, now they're gonna like me. Because I said it's like blue.
And in particular, any other people in the hospital are having it. So
Yes, and everybody voted like blue. I said it's like blue and everybody voted like blue and now there was a pastor who said bye-bye. I'm gonna say bye-bye. Good luck.
So is all-cause mortality going up in America? Is that correct?
I know the data for 18 to 64-year-olds. I think in
For some reason I keep on ending up with this like green thing. I want you to come. I feel like he's been watching my movie. I keep on bumping into me. It gets me mad and frustrated. I saw him. I just saw him and then I moved. I think I first saw my cat. Because I don't see any, I don't see any my cat. I finished all my cat.
And you're seeing this historic rise, and others trying to dismiss it as you know,
it's light green.
Suicides. You know, why would they suddenly?
Why?
Is there any other potential explanation? I'm trying to check my premise and not try to get into my narrative. Is there any other explanation for this?
When I review all the data, and you're absolutely right, your intuition is correct. You don't want to lead to dramatic conclusions, sensationalize things. But I've looked at a lot more data points. Sure, we can do this for an hour. I will tell you one of the most.
Now we have to go against the other dude. The dark green. There's no task to do, so I'm just going to stand around this button. Yeah.
All the excess mortality in the population was from.
Yeah, but I know it's like blue. I know it's the other dark green. It's like I know it's dark green.
It changed to largely under the category of cardiovascular.
It's actually the dark green. And now how many players are left with me on YouTube? And look at this team meeting and know it's dark green too.
Oh my God.
Why can't I press the emergency button? Someone else. I need to press it.
Into the population.
I just need to put the emergency button.
I find that a pretty damn.
Oh no, don't do kill us all, Abigail.
Stop yelling.
Oh no, it's not long. Abigail, why did you do that? We're all gonna die.
So try something else. Now, let's continue. A spectacular victory.
I died. Somebody killed me. Yeah, because I got lead to my face.
A decisive victory.
I want blue. Come on. We'll change your hairstyle. Come on. We'll change your hair color. I don't want to change my hair color. How do I change my hair? Crewmate. I said I'm a crewmate. This says crewmate. What about Then after across the hill, and I'm super scared. It's running up the across the that instantly would kill me. Whoever's going across the. I think it's light blue. It's like blue and green. It's like blue and green. What my body thinks. Someone. Where are you? I mean, it's like blue and green. It's like blue and green. Like blue killed me and green was following him. Oh, no. I think it's green or it has to be brown or green. And I know it's light blue. Because brown, because green is with like blue and killed me and brown didn't report my dead body. No, even though that they sold it. Oh, they killed me. No. And I saw light blue, red, and then yellow. Nobody found my dead body. And Boston got away with the victory. Oh my goodness, somebody. Calm down. Well, the ghosts are dead. Yes! Light blue, no, everybody knows light blue because he said yes! No, it wasn't green, it was light blue, and then it was light blue, yes! Yes! Yellow's the one that killed me, and then I saw light blue vent. Because I'm pretty sure yellow killed me because I found that someone well, light blue killed me because I just was trying to do this task. And then brown didn't report my dead body. And then green was along chuckling with him. Well, I guess what? Green and brown are there, actually working together. They're working together. Brown didn't report my dead body, and green didn't report my dead body. What do I do?
Shadow identified. Awaiting.
Okay, I need a hat. Okay, how do I change color of my hair? So we don't like it. Wait, I gotta leave the game real quick. Come on, it has text me.
Go! Your agility's down. You can't hit the enemy's weaker. Prepare yourself.
I am a teammate.
Two enemies down.
Let's go.
I just saw somebody, I heard somebody vent.
Okay.
Okay, we're done. Hurry up and move on. Don't worry. Looks like enemies will turn down now. Out of our way! Two enemies down. It's down. Hold on! Alright, time for counterattack! Cool, Joker!
You're mine.
Joker took one out! All right.
Serves you right.
Okay, guys.
Okay,
Okay, we defeated them. Is everyone all right?
I can feel it.
Three of them, but we're the better team. My persona. Feel my rage. One enemy. Two both left. Let's do this. Gunshot should hit his throat. You've almost won. That's the time. Don't forget his feelings. Yeah! Victory!
All right.
A complete victory. Now let's keep going. Sometimes when you're in Mementos, you can hear someone crying somewhere.
All right, let's get this done.
You're pretty pumped up. You kind of sound like a kid, though. Three of them, but we're the better team. Gunshot should hit his weakness. Yeah, the enemy stands. Persona! No holds barred! Fresh one enemy. Two enemies remaining. Don't let your guard down. Took one out. All right. Turn it out. Not so loud. Freeze me up. You've got a new mask, Joker.
Yeah.
Get off my bed. What's taking me forever? I don't even want to play Among Us now. Stop texting. Too much texting.
I'll show you.
I'm making my aquarium. Like you. And my food.
It's strong. Don't do anything reckless. Let's do this. Take that.
Go down.
Don't do anything reckless. Only the strong. Don't do anything reckless.
Abigail, what are you playing with me? It just said, I just saw something named Baby Rose. Abigail! Look, this is totally not me.
Don't do anything reckless. Don't get reckless now.
Okay, Thought chapter 6. Talking bad.
You think
Okay, and on the one Ben's house. We're just in a different, I'm in a different one Ben's here. This time I'm in Ben's house. It looks like Ben's house dying, but it's not. You died. Yeah, I died. It passed.
Don't get reckless now.
Are you joining me? Yeah, I see you. I'm watching you on cams. It's Alexi Abigail. It's Alexi.
I don't see a weakness. I don't see a weakness.
Why are you still frowning? Oh no, it's coming downstairs. Boogie Woogie died. You gotta put. It was going to leave. No, it's only leaving that. And look to the next team. Boo boo ba ba ba. 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 Now let me join. I connected. Ben, the dog. And that's it all. Yeah. Play. Ben stays close for some reason. Oh, I see Ben. I see Ben. I see Ben. Where? It seems like. How we go, Ben? I saw Ben. I see Ben too. Let's go. Leave that room. Why? I found brown. There's so many keys. I found a golden key. I found a blue key. You need a black key for the exit. Someone already used this. Put the TV in. A black key. We have a black key. That's not too soon. He said it's black. I got the pink key. Yeah. Do we need the pink key? Oh, purple key. Purple key. There. Over here. Wait. Where's the pink key go? Oh no, we need the brown key. Does anyone know where's the brown? I know where. I actually know where's the gold. Actually, I do. Come with me. died. No, I just put by dog. I felt like I was gonna die. I'm downstairs looking for the smoothie. I got a smoothie. Ben's after me. I'll be a distraction for you. Okay, keep on being like distraction and sign up my stuff. Yeah. I'm downstairs. Abigail, Ben's not behind you. Oh, Ben's like Ben killed me. No, I'm the only one. Now Ben's after me. It says like you're playing dancing. You're playing nothing. It says like you're playing dancing. You're playing nothing. I was thinking Ben, soy Ben. Okay, I'm joining.
I learned nothing.
Dragon's Fight doesn't work. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna play Dragon's Fight. Just join me if you want to know what I'm playing. No, I'm gonna play this thing. It says that you're playing that thing. I'm just playing it now. It's the one that other people are talking about. No, the people are talking. It says you're playing Childhood. So I'll join you.
Y'all using too much goddamn bandwidth. You need to do something else besides be on your phones for about an hour.
Okay.
Turn your phone off.
Hey, do you want to play with dolls? Okay. You act your doll. You get an pink doll.